So Hunter Biden is wanting to, I guess, testify about everything, but he wants it all to be public and televised, which the GOP may not want to do. This is quite interesting. I wonder what they have planned.
Joining me now is Charles Lipson, Professor Emeritus at the University of Chicago. Charles, thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure to be with you, Brittany.
An interesting conversation today. Hunter Biden's lawyers said that he will testify before Congress, but on the condition that the hearing is public. What do you make of this?
Well, you remember that great scene in The Godfather where there's a horse head in the bed? And
Perhaps the most
how can you
iconic
forget it?
scene in cinematic history, yes.
And do you remember what The Godfather said about why he was going to get the Frank Sinatra character into the movie? He said, "I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse." And what Abby Lowell is doing, the hardball lawyer for Hunter Biden, is the exact opposite. He's making them an offer they can only refuse. It's designed to make Hunter look like he wants to testify, when in fact I think it's the last thing in the world he wants to do.
So, do you think that this offer is a good thing for Hunter Biden?
Well, I think that it was a smart thing for him to do, but the let's talk about what would really happen in a normal process. So what this committee is doing is the same as all other committees. It's the same as what Adam Schiff did with his committee and so forth when they were investigating Trump. They hold behind the scenes hearings. And why do they do? And then they determine if there are things. They make two determinations. One is, should they release the transcript of that? And sometimes they don't want to release it for political reasons that might make them look bad. But the main reason they don't want to release it is they don't want other witnesses to know what one witness has said, so that they can get their stories together. But if you watch most of these public hearings, what they're kind of show trials. They're divided into 5-minute segments in which each congressperson or senator or whatever ask a few questions. The next person comes from the other party, asks different kinds of questions. There's no continuity. When you have the behind the scenes thing, it's almost always given over to professional investigative attorneys. And Hunter Biden would have his own attorney, Abby Lowell. The Democrats would have their attorney, the Democrats on the committee, and then the Republicans would. And the Democrats and the Republican attorney would ask questions, maybe for 30 minutes, half an hour, and then switch over to the other one. But you would have more than enough time, and you wouldn't be trying to get the story essentially out to the public. So if what they're offering Hunter Biden is a deal that is identical to the deal that everybody else who's testified, and Hunter doesn't want to take it. What I would say is, we're willing to compromise with you. If I were the Comer and the Republicans, I would say we're willing to compromise with you. We're willing, several weeks after, just before you publicly testify, we're willing to release what you've said behind closed doors to the public. So that's all out there, and we'll do that, let's call it 1 week before an agreed public testimony. But I think Hunter would have problems with a public testimony because he's facing criminal charges potentially in California over taxes and gun charges. It's absolutely ludicrous that they haven't charged him as being a foreign agent, a FARA violation, because he was representing foreign governments. So he will not want to say anything that would jeopardize cases that that are still being heard by a grand jury. So he would have to take the Fifth Amendment, and boy, that's a bad look for Hunter Biden.